Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to your NXT Takeover War Games 2021 preview and predictions. As usual, the Takeover formula holds tried and true. We've got 5 matches on this show, but no world title match, no women's title match, because both of those champions are in War Games matches. We do have a Cruiserweight Championship and a Tag Team Championship, and in my opinion, the most important match on this card, very easily the hair versus hair match. How do you feel, John?
Yeah, man, the hair versus hair match, I've enjoyed the build to it. Even the segment that you didn't seem to like, where they were going through the photoshopped images of Grimes bald, I think it's just because of the charisma of the people involved. I really do not give a shit about this takeover. I'm not gonna lie, NXT 2.0 has felt like a drain. It's felt like a labor to get through. Tag title match, I feel like Kyle's on the way out, and Von Wagner, they've already got him being Pierce's security on SmackDown, seemingly. So you know that they don't want him to stick around too long. I think they're gonna try and kind of like cheat this thing and be like, okay, you can get your experience down there, but we'll get you your exposure up here.
Right.
Um, Gacy strong. I hate it because I hate where I think it might be going, and I kind of alluded to that on One Twit Wow review. Women's War Games is fine, and men's War Games, I mean, Braun Breaker. That's the guy I think, and Carmelo Hayes, two guys I'm most invested in the match. Overall, if I had to rank this honestly, just with how I feel, I'd give this a 4.5 out of 10. I'd really, yeah, this show, the sooner we get through it, the better. Because I'm really, I'm annoyed that I have to give my time to this. And I've never really said that about a show we've previewed before. I've never really come out and been that mask off about it. But yeah, I'm annoyed we have to do this. I think this product sucks. I think they'll get some right results, sure, but I don't know if they can maintain that momentum long term. I just think a lot's up in the air with WWE right now, and NXT is certainly affected by it. But what about you? If you could put a number to your feelings, what would it look like?
Um, Mostly because of just individual performers in the War Games match who I'm looking forward to seeing, namely Io, Dakota, Braun, Mello, and Gargano. Because of those individual performers and the hair versus hair match, which I am legitimately excited for. And I hate to admit it, but fucking Gacy Strong has got me interested. I'm intrigued by where they go with that. If they just have Roddy continue kind of proving that he can hang with the heavyweights, or if they put the title on Gacy and they use it as an opportunity to make an NXT 2.0 open weight championship. And I think that's interesting too, even if I do hate Gacy's gimmick right now. So I'm going to give it a 6.5, actually. I'm 2 full points higher than you. That's got to be a first.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. But hey, to each their own, partner. I'm happy for you. Maybe this conversation will bump the needle for one of us or make it go down. Who even
Yep.
knows anymore?
And
Let's talk about this card.
let's get into the most seemingly divisive one first, because I literally have listed first Roderick Strong defending the Cruiserweight title against Joe Gacy.
You want me to go first on this, or do you want to just give
I
your
do,
thoughts?
yeah. I kind of paused because I was hoping you would start talking.
Okay. All right. For me, it's frustrating because I'll say this time and again, and I'll keep coming up on here and saying this over and over again. I like Joe Gacy. I think the dude's a good worker. I've seen him be a great heel. And I mean, literally seen it because he was a Force One champion back in the New Jersey Indies. Um, so I've seen what this dude can do, and I personally think he is doing the best he can with this. I don't want to take it out on Gacy the person. I think I've been good enough about not doing that on here. Even the gimmick itself, I feel like it does have promise if they just really had their finger on the pulse. But I think it's kind of the caricature of what they think this stuff is. Social justice, being more mindful, et cetera, et cetera. Love Diamond Mine. Fucking love Diamond Mine. I think Malcolm Bivens, it's so great that he has a regular appearance like on NXT, that he's seen with regularity. I like the Creed brothers. Ivy Nile, I'm cool with her so far. I'm interested to see when she gets in there with somebody like a Sarese or Kaylee Ray or Dakota, somebody that would like force her to go a bit longer in the ring, how she'd look. But I mean, aesthetically and conceptually, Diamond Mine's cool with me. I don't know though if NXT's fully capitalizing on that momentum. And yeah, let's just get into the nitty gritty here. Either Roderick retains and he beats another heavyweight, which is like cool, sure. But like, what about the cruiserweight title? What's gonna happen with that? And then you've got an openweight title, and I'm of two minds about an openweight title. And I got to be honest, when Chiefin and I were talking about it in the Twitwah Discord, which if anybody's listening to this for the first time, I was like cover my bases. Twitwah Discord's only $3 a month. You can check out our pricing tiers in our Patreon below in the description box. Great community. But when I'm talking about it with Chiefin, my immediate thought is, well, isn't that essentially the North American Championship? And now it's possible, because I did hear this, that the championship could be open to women. But the thing about that is, I'm definitely open to that. You know where I am on the intergender wrestling debate. I am enthusiastically for it. But I've never even really liked how WWE has done it, save for, I think the one time they did it right, fucking oddly enough, was Nia Jax in the Rumble because she got her comeuppance. I don't like when WWE does intergender just to show how strong women are, because there are many creative ways that aren't so superficial and telegraphed that you can do that, right? I find a woman that loses and comes back and wins just as inspiring as a woman that seemingly never loses when she's up against a man. That's why, despite how things happen outside the ring for her, when you think about somebody like a Sexy Star versus Marty the Moth, and then his sister getting involved, Mariposa. I mean, fuck you, Mariposa. Fuck you. One of the most iconic Lucha Underground moments ever, right?
Yeah.
That works more than WWE, where it's like, oh, this woman's in there, but oh, she overcame, or even just the woman that's pure victim all the time. Like, WWE needs balance because balance implies depth. I worry that if a woman was to be a part of like this championship division, they wouldn't really book it right. And that concerns me because it is a very exciting prospect. So overall, I'm left feeling very ambivalent about this match. And now the only thing that's left is just to pick a winner. I'm going to go with fucking Joe Gacy. I think, his gimmick is on the rise, whereas I don't know. I don't feel like NXT is all in on Diamond Mine. I just get that feeling that it's like, okay, you guys are fine, but I just sense an upward trajectory with Gacy. So I'm going to go with him to win the title here, and then I'm guessing, an openweight championship is coming to NXT 2.0,
Yeah.
which, okay, I guess.
Yeah,
What do you
I'm
think?
right there with you. Actually, I'm right there with you. I have enjoyed Roderick's reign so far, but I think the writing was on the wall when all of the 205 Live sort of stalwarts got released. When like Arya Davari, Brian Kendrick, and Tony Nese got dropped, it was like, okay, this is it for the cruiserweight division. It's over. It's dead.
Yeah.
So this just feels like the inevitable conclusion, really the inevitable end of the cruiserweight division as a whole. And whether that's a good thing or a bad thing is up for debate. I don't really have a hardline stance either way. I know that there are people who do. I know Foster loves 205 Live in the cruiserweight division, and I feel bad for him for losing it. But personally, I've never watched 205 Live, and I feel like the cruiserweight division has been a massive waste of time pretty much since like Enzo Amore was champion. So I guess I should say since Buddy Murphy was champion, because at least he made it interesting. So really, it's funny, John, because like you say that you like Joe Gacy as a performer, you like him, you've seen him be an effective heel, and yet when I look at him, I see Kevin Owens at home.
And then, again, to each their own. I'm not going to fight that point with you. I just feel like if he got a better gimmick, I don't know. I feel like he'd have more, fanfare or more heat, depending on what you're looking for, obviously. It's a shame. I feel like he's more shackled by this
Yeah.
than him innately limiting it, kind of thing.
You know,
Um,
it's really interesting that you say that, because in my mind, if it wasn't for this quote unquote controversial gimmick, I don't think Gacy gets noticed at all. I don't think he's like a standout performer.
hmm.
I think that the reason that we're even talking about Gacy and the reason that he's being pushed is precisely because of this gimmick.
Yeah, I mean, that is possible. I would be curious what would happen if we'd give him another gimmick that wasn't just so emphasizing things that people are very clearly going to react to because of the cultural moment we find ourselves in.
Yeah. Yeah,
I don't
because
know.
that's my thing. Is like Gacy's gimmick might as well be literal clickbait, right? Like
Right, yeah, for sure.
he's literally the
That
type of
we will
person that
agree on for
everyone
sure.
is going to comment on in some way or another, and everyone is going to say something that's going to get someone else riled up and want to say something, and then spark the debate in the comments section. You know how fucking Skankun did it in South Park.
Yeah,
That's
exactly. Yeah.
basically what NXT, because really what it is it's a bad faith argument personified.
Right. Yeah.
So that all being said, we agree on the finish, we agree on the result of the match, and we agree on the consequences of the result of the match. You and I both agree that Gacy wins and makes it an openweight championship. And God, if it wasn't such a bad faith gimmick, I would be so into that. Like if it was just about anyone else, or even if it was Joe Gacy, but he was just not a fucking caricature of what the right sees as a social justice warrior, I would be really into it because the idea of an open weight division in NXT where you get bigger, heavier guys and the smaller, like cruiserweight style guys, and maybe even, like you mentioned, maybe even women competing could be so interesting. It could be so cool and so new, and it's one of those things where it's WWE, so I can't count on them to capitalize on anything like this. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
So I'm
Exactly.
just gonna predict Gacy and try my best to kind of quell all of my passion for possibility because I know that the WWE is severely lacking in that department. You know.
Yeah.
Next up, though, tag titles. God, this is a fucking joke of a match. This is far and away the least interesting match on this card, in my opinion. And it's because of who our tag team champions are. Imperium are the current tag team champions. And they're defending against a team with no shot to win because one of their contract runs out this month and the other one is already got like his, 1 foot out the door on his way to SmackDown in Kyle O'Reilly and Von Wagner. So I think you and I both agree pretty handily here that Imperium is going to retain, but this is like NXT's going out of their way to pad the worst title reign currently going on in the show, and that's saying something because they're all pretty fucking bad,
Yeah. I'm just gonna
except
say
Noah.
this. Yes. Um. If one of the aims of pro wrestling is to cause an audience member to suspend their disbelief, as has often been said, this match utterly fails on all counts. I can't suspend my disbelief for one moment that Imperium aren't going to retain, just given those circumstances. Hell, even if I didn't have those circumstances, it'd be pretty weird to think so recently after winning the titles that they would just drop them to what's essentially, and they've been quite honest about it narratively to their credit, a makeshift team. I think Imperium's totally got the retention here. Absolutely. And I'm just hoping that what GYV is doing, again, I said this, I think, on the last episode of our NXT 2.0 review, that what GYV is doing with learning how to cheat and stuff like that will make them like a modern day Los Guerreros, with their own kind of spin on it. And the crowd eats it up and they become the tag team champions because, MSK, I like what they're doing now away from that arena. I would just prefer they get called up altogether. But I don't think that's happening. They put a lot of time in these vignettes. And GYV is doing something unique and interesting, and I'd like to see them get rewarded for that. So yeah, Imperium retains, but I have no idea who the next champions are. Like, because I'd love to say GYV, but that is nowhere near a given.
Do you
So
remember who it was that was attacking Kyle O'Reilly in the first place that Von Wagner kind of had his debut to save and then got inserted into that big five-way main event for the world title?
wasn't it Rich Holland and Pete Dunne?
Was it them?
I believe so.
Okay, well then I guess it can't possibly come back to them in any way. I was wondering if it was GYV because if it was GYV, I could see them doing a really quick angle where it's like, ha ha ha, swerve bitches, O'Reilly and Wagner win, and then GYV beat them for the titles
Yeah.
within like the next 3 weeks.
Right. Right.
But if it was fucking Dunn and Holland, Holland is squashing bitches on SmackDown, so that's not gonna happen. So, yeah, yeah, I guess it's just as simple as Imperium retains. So let's move on to, in my opinion, the most important match on this card. Far and away the match that I am the most interested in storyline wise and just actually watching the match because the match should be an absolute banger. Cameron Grimes versus Duke Hudson, hair versus hair.
okay, since you're more interested in this than even me, because I'm just interested in seeing my boy Cameron wrestle, right? And again, I have given the proper credit of the feud, but even that, it's like, oh god, the rest of the product is just so. I want you to carry, but I want you to carry orienting yourself around this question. Are you with me? I'm not asking about a prediction. I'm asking about like a disposition towards the match. Are you with me that it would be more interesting if we have the heel actually win this and we have Cameron legitimately get shaved?
No.
Interesting. Okay, I just wanted to know that, so then I'll give my own reasons for that, but you go for the time being.
I think so far this feud has served its purpose, which was to clean Cameron up a little bit because he was getting a little unwieldy with the big old bushy beard. Um, and I actually saw there were quite a few women on social media swooning over Cameron's new look. My mom talked about how much better he looks without the big wild beard going crazy. I think that that was the main goal of the lead up. And then the secondary goal is to shave Duke Hudson's head. I think Hudson's the one getting his head shaved. I think Cameron got the little bit of a trim that he maybe needed in the eyes of management. And I think Duke just kind of wants to shave his head and he wants to be bald. And I think that'll make him stand out a lot too. And really, his hair is so far from like an identifying feature that makes him look iconic by any means. Duke Hudson's hair is pretty secondary, maybe even tertiary or quaternary as far as what makes him who he is. So him losing it isn't really that big of a deal in the long run, but it'll be good for Cameron Grimes' character because it'll make him look tough and beating a fucking behemoth like Duke Hudson, because the dude's like 6'5", 260, he's huge, is going to make him look like a giant slayer, which is also maybe potential fodder for him to go after Joe Gacy then, because Gacy's whole thing is that he's a big hefty guy who can beat smaller guys. Well, if Cameron Grimes beats Duke Hudson, who's to say he can't go after the new NXT openweight champion Joe Gacy? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I can definitely appreciate all the logic you're putting out for sure. To me, I look at Cameron Grimes and just really looking at his trajectory, he definitely seems to be a babyface that is quintessentially defined by his struggle. You know, he lost to LA Knight for the $1 Million Championship, and then he ultimately does beat him for it, yes, but then he, ends up like giving it back to Ted, so he's like back at square one, and Ted just gave him like a toy one anyway, kind of thing. So Cameron to me is the type, and I'm beginning to see, and maybe it's my own cynicism for sure, that he doesn't really get his moment, at least not completely. And I also feel like, again, because of his promo styles and his energy, despite the fact that he does have this affluence, he's also remarkably somehow still been able to be grounded in like kind of that everyman aura, so to speak. And you always see baby faces win these types of matches. I don't think I've ever seen a baby face once lose a match like this, which isn't to say that it hasn't happened. That's I'm making the qualitative statement that I've never seen it. That's different from it never happening. Because even Tam Julia was very
Yeah.
clearly the heel
I was
in the
just
lead
thinking
up to
Tam
that.
Julia and Suzuki Goto too.
Suzuki Goto won that. Obviously, the freshest hair versus hair match in my mind, Edge Angle from Judgment Day 2002. I think it would be bold to have the heel win this for once. I think it'd be great for Hudson, and I think for Cameron Grimes going back to that everyman kind of mystique, like you kind of bring him into that more aesthetically, with the shaved head and maybe like the trim beard, and yeah,
Do you not think
I
that
don't know.
Grimes would look a little bit too much like Zach Gibson if he had his bald head?
It's possible. Knowing NXT 2.0, they do a joke segment about it. Maybe even they try to do their own cringe version of the fucking Spider-Man meme.
God,
But
I would even hate that because our literal current world champion is bald with a beard. I don't want Cameron looking the same as him.
yeah, I mean, I'm going out on a limb. I'm saying Duke Hudson's winning this. I just
Hey,
got a weird feeling.
that's a
You know,
really interesting pick, and if you are right about that, then you're gonna look like a goddamn genius. But I will not be joining you on your limb, so that makes it less likely to break and have you fall to the ground. So I'm gonna stay right here on the tree trunk and pick Cameron Grimes to win and shave Duke's head.
there you go. All right, next matchup.
Next up, let's get to our women's War Games match. We've got Team Raquel, represented by by Raquel Gonzalez. Let me pull up the page and make sure that I get all the names right. Io Shirai, Cora Jade, and Kaylee Ray versus Team Dakota, which is literally just Dakota Kai and Toxic Attraction. So Mandy Rose, Gigi Dolan, and JC Jane. There you go.
Um, God, I wish I cared more about this match than what I do because Io and Dakota are so fantastic.
I was just gonna say
Cora
I
Jade
care
isn't
about this
bad.
match precisely because, and I actually forgot a name earlier, but I care about this match precisely because of Io, Dakota, and Gigi. That's my limit. I care about those three women. I care about seeing them all three wrestle, and I care about nothing else in this match. And it doesn't matter that I don't care about anyone else because I'm gonna watch the match watching those three women, and that's all I need.
Yeah, exactly. Um, so yeah, what to say here? Um, so the
Should add, I do
heels.
like Cora Jade, but anyway, go ahead, go ahead.
No. You're fine because I needed to get my thoughts together anyway. The baby faces, excuse me, have the War Games advantage. It seems like Dakota, oddly enough, even though she lost the advantage, people have been talking up like what a difference maker she is, like in War Games, so to speak. Io's never won one apparently, if that statistic is correct. And this all started in, well, you could technically say it all started with Raquel and Dakota. That's why I know it's in the description box. It's Team Raquel versus Team Dakota. But I'm also thinking about the fact that Io does want the NXT Women's Championship, and I'm sure fucking who else is on Io's fucking team? Oh yeah,
Raquel,
fucking Cora
Kaylee
Jade.
Ray, and Cora.
Yeah, so Cora's pinned Mandy Rose, and I had another like far out prediction. I would even say in some ways this is more even far out than Hudson beating Grimes. I almost feel like Zoe Stark's gonna fuck with Io here because she's still been on TV. She's still been coming out on crutches and stuff, and I've been seeing her rehab. And I'm wondering if she's healthy enough to do a spot where she just hits Io in the back with her crutch or some shit, or she tries to quote unquote help and she ends up fucking screwing that team over. Because to me, honestly, and I've been thinking about this, I could see a potential angle where when Zoe's healed up, she comes back as a heel, which quite honestly, after experimenting with her as a face, I think would be better for her because she can go in the ring. And I don't know if like being a heel would help her personality more because I think it is easier to get people pissed at you than to cheer for you. But she can even say to Io, I literally injured myself to try and get your approval. And you still say when you come out using my crutch to attack Mandy Rose that you don't like me, but oh thank goodness you like her even less kind of thing. Even injured and helping you, I still don't get your respect. And so I'm through with your respect. I don't need it kind of thing. And she just turns on her. And so that's a ready-made angle for Zoe when she comes back as a heel feuding with Io. So I'd wonder if she'd fuck her over here. Maybe, though, she'd save that for the title match with Mandy Rose. But I do see Zoe turning on Io here at some point in the coming like month or two. It's just a question of when for me.
Can we have a quick talk about Zoe Stark right now?
Sure, since I broached it. Yeah, absolutely.
She tore her ACL, dude.
Yeah.
That's a 9
So
month injury.
yeah. No, I'm aware of that. So I'm just saying, like, it's funny to me that given that, what's so different about her from even Bailey, right, is that she's still on fucking TV, which shocks me. Like she's on her TV, on the TV, crutches and all, and everything. And I'm like,
Wasn't that only
why
one
have her on
time though?
TV?
Like she showed up wanting to, you know, toughen up and fight through war games, and then she obviously couldn't, so they replaced her.
Well, no. See, she showed up. Yeah, that one time. I think she was backstage to do the injury angle, which we thought was going to be the write off. She came out and we thought, oh my god, is she actually like? There's no fucking way. We heard it was an ACL. Then I think she was backstage the week after with the team, and then I think even just this week in the locker room watching the War Games Advantage ladder match, she was backstage with
Oh
fucking Team
Jesus!
Raquel. So you see what I'm saying? Like it's weird to me that such a severe injury, she still has a consistent TV presence.
Yeah, I
And I'm
hate
just
it. I
thinking,
really
why?
do. I hate it. Why the fuck are they keeping her on TV so much? She's fucking injured for. She's gonna be out for at least another 8 months, if not more. Why are they trying so hard to keep her of all people relevant?
And dude, that's the answer I'm trying to provide for you because I've tried to figure it out myself. I think at some point, but you would have to think, and this is no offense to Io, but like she's relevant right now. But I know the storylines aren't always going to revolve around her.
God.
And you've got storylines that actually matter to her right now, right? Because she's in War Games, she's never won, and she's looking to go after the championship again. Those two things for Io, the character, really matter. So if you're a transitioning heel that wants to fuck with her, that's the spot you pick. But it's still so far removed from when she heals.
Yeah,
So either I'm completely off
that's why I
base.
can't get on board with this, because even if you wanted to do an angle where Zoe turned on Io, now is not the time to do it because they're not going to be able to have a match until fucking July.
Yeah. And
Like,
that's a long way off in
yeah,
wrestling
like it
time.
just makes no sense at all to do something this early when she's not going to be able to compete until then. And like, I feel like your ideas for her motivation for a heel turn make all the sense in the world. I completely understand and I'm fully behind that, but now is just not the
Yeah.
time to do it. Now and
No, see, and
frankly, dude,
yeah.
I just want to add on to that. I swear to fucking God, if Io is seriously still in NXT long enough to see Zoe come back and feud with her, I'm gonna be so goddamn tired of this shit.
I mean, to be quite honest, I already am. Like, you see my energy about this show. Like, I feel like Io should be in those conversations. Like, I'm happy for Tony that she's getting this program with Charlotte now, but Io should be in that kind of conversation. I mean, and even then, I'm apprehensive because it's fucking Charlotte, but you get my broader point.
Yeah.
She should be feuding with the big game for the big championships, et cetera, et cetera.
Like she should be next
no,
to
dude,
feud with Becky after Liv gets done with her.
absolutely. And dude, I want you to understand, it's not that I'm unsympathetic to your retort. It's just that you and I are both left with the same problem. Why does she have such an emphasized presence on TV right now with a torn ACL?
Yeah, I can acknowledge that she's been on TV, but I can also just say fuck it. She maybe escorts Io out and leaves and just isn't actually a part of the match at all.
We'll see. We'll see. Because I really
Because dude,
don't
I'm
know, but I still have
100% all in on the babyface team winning here because I feel like not only do they have advantage, which is so rare for babyface teams, but the world champion is on the heel team. And I feel like they like to use war games to set up contenders. Cora Jade already pinned Mandy Rose. Raquel is practically at the front of the line. Kaylee Ray wants a shot. The only person who wants a shot and doesn't really have any claim to it right now is Io. I feel like there's a genuine chance Io pins Mandy to win this match.
And honestly, I am inclined to agree with you. And then that would leave Mandy pretty much in a fatal five-way situation.
I would expect Regal to make a four-way between the four women in the babyface team on here to determine the number one contender.
Yeah. Because I don't know, it would either be that or a fatal five-way. This way, you cover up Mandy's, weaknesses in big-time matches.
That's true. They would probably go for that because you're right.
The same way they did with Cross, right? With that big fatal, So,
but Cross was supposed to be a badass, and Mandy is not that at all. I feel like Mandy is much more likely to take like the coward's way out and be like, "Oh, you all fight amongst each other to see who gets me next."
Yeah, that's true. That's fair. Ultimately, dude, I just wanted to get all of our options and all the exposition on the table here. I am going to agree with you about Team Babyfaces winning this, so Team Raquel. Okay. But Jesus Christ, I'm really not invested in this women's division at all. It's funny because with them, I just like individual performers. Like to be honest, one of the most compelling parts of the women's division right now is whatever the hell they're gonna do with Persia Perota. Because like, I like seeing her dominate, and I could see her as a.
You think she'll be in War Games next year?
Oh, definitely. If they don't like call her up or do any weird shit, and we can just assume that she's on the roster, I think there's a 90% chance she's in War Games next year.
I love how you say do any weird shit, which kind of encapsulates release her for no reason.
Exactly. I mean, again, dude, I really, where we are with this company right now, so it goes without saying.
Yeah. All right, so I guess we can move on to our men's War Games match, and it's literally the background: Ciampa, Gargano, Dunn, and fucking Knight versus Breaker, Hayes, D'Angelo, and Waller.
Unlike the women's War Games matchup, I'm not gonna do like a whole bunch of quantum physics on the blackboard. Braun Breaker pins Tommaso Ciampa. Team NXT 2.0 wins. I'm 100% convinced on that. The same way that you seem to have the conviction about Io pinning Mandy.
No, yeah,
that's
dude. Here's the thing: if I felt like this was a match where Team Black and Gold had a shot, I would predict Gargano pinning Hayes. But because it is so very clear that they want 2.0 to win here, and that that's going to be the team that they're going to want to make look good and have them pick up the W here, it's got to be Breaker pinning Ciampa, right? It has to be. Because
It has to, because then
Lord
he gets his
fucking
rematch.
knows they're not going to give D'Angelo or Waller the winning pin here. Hayes is the only other one I could imagine getting the winning pin. And if he would pin anyone, it sure as hell wouldn't be Ciampa because they're not going to do champion versus champion like that.
No, no, certainly not. Yeah, I just, again, Braun Breaker's been on the rise. If anybody, and I don't think anybody's safe right now, right? I don't believe in safety anymore in this company with whatever they're doing. But if anybody does really have that aura about, like, this is our fucking guy,
Yeah, it's
you
Braun.
know, it's Braun Breaker right now,
Yeah.
and it'll be even more fascinating how that works out when they start promoting Gable Steveson more. But that's a separate conversation.
Well, dude,
Um,
Stevenson's not even going to be in NXT. Remember, he got drafted to Raw.
yeah, so maybe they'll just get all that stuff from him. Maybe this will be a weird instance where they have two top guys. Like, we'll be in the midst of the Stevenson era when Braun's finally ready to, like, step up and be like, okay, it's my time now,
I
kind
mean,
of thing.
if we're going by level of training, you've got to imagine Braun is going to be more ready to be like a main event level wrestler on the main roster before Stevenson.
Potential. It really depends on how quick he takes to it,
That's
man. Both in
true. If
terms
he
of
pulls a
the in
fucking
ring and with
angle,
the
then yeah, you're right.
Yeah, if he pulls a fucking Angle. I mean, Angle did everything in his rookie year because he was ready to do it in his rookie
Yeah.
year. We'll see if Stevenson's the
Oh
same,
man.
but
But yeah, like
for the
there's
yeah,
a part of me that thinks that maybe they'll want to protect Champa and have Breaker pin LA Knight or done, just because then Breaker would still be able to say, I beat Team Black and Gold. I'm the rightful champion. Give me another shot. Like, I beat your boy. Even if he can't say, I beat you directly. But I
yeah.
do think that it's very likely. Like, if we were doing, like, betting odds, I would say the most likely result here is precisely Breaker beating Champa.
Oh, I completely agree with you because I see what you're saying, but to me, and I know we don't even disagree because you really gone out of your way to say, like, yeah, I see the same thing. I think for this matchup, it's to really make an emphatic statement about Braun's claim to the title, and
Well,
I
and not
think
only
you get
not
emphatic
only
by having him pin the champion.
Braun's claim to the title, but how much better this new era is than the old one. I think too.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And it's like, the black and gold is fucking dead. Long live 2.0. God, I wanted to like 2.0 so much more than what I've ended up liking it as. Because, with them winning, it really is. Like, it's a love letter that NXT, which also, again, coincides with Johnny more than likely out the door.
Hey,
Yeah.
I
So
mean,
I
to
don't
be
know.
fair, I like more guys on Team 2.0 than I like on Team Black and Gold. Black and Gold, I literally only like Gargano, and then Team 2.0. At least I like both Braun and Mello. Like, it's literally 3 dudes out of 8 that I like, and it just so happens that 2 of them are on the new team that's actually going to win the match.
See, and I'm with you on black and gold because, like, I do like Johnny. Johnny, if this is his last time, I hope the crowd gives him his flowers because the idea that, like, he always got a response and he never got stale is just a testament to how good he is.
Yeah.
And then with 2.0, yeah, love Braun, love Mello. Hell, I even said, because I know it's easy to get things mixed up for people and just make generalizations, but, like, I like D'Angelo. I just think he's too green to be in this spot right now. Like, I think this is way rushed for him.
Yeah.
But I do like him. Steady. You're like taking the training wheels off and pushing him into the fucking highway. So I don't know. Maybe he'll look good in it. Maybe he won't. And fucking Waller. Waller might actually be my least favorite person in this. And that's fucking amazing given that LA Knight's a thing.
Yeah,
Because I really don't care
honestly,
for him
those
either.
2 guys and Dunn are battling it out for me because I can't fucking stand Dunn either.
I just feel like with Waller though, like, God, it's so, but he sucks.
It's
He
like I
really
said on
just
the
he
one
sucks.
review that we did. Punk said that MJF was a less famous Miz. Grayson Waller's a less talented Miz, and that's really fucking saying something because that's a low ass bar.
Yeah. Gonna be honest, I think my anticipation actually might have even dipped a little because I'm really just coming to the realization like this is NXT now. Like when you think about it, dude. And again, I'm happy for Mello and Braun because again, we talk about that Kurt Angle type
I feel like I
pacing.
want to go back to the days before NXT got on its bullshit with like the fucking Adam Cole, Johnny Gargano garbage.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
want to go back to before that happened. Like, I feel like it's so weird because a lot of people that have been watching NXT for its entire lifetime will probably tell you that like prime or peak NXT was like the Neville, Zayn, Owens era. To me, it's the fucking McIntyre Gargano or the McIntyre Almas era. Like that was like peak NXT to me.
Oh my god, that was so good. That was so good. But yeah, I just wanted to say,
Because then, oh yeah, that's right. So really, it wasn't just McIntyre Almas; it was McIntyre Almas Black. Like those three dudes in
yeah,
a row were the world champion. Like that's peak NXT to me. And that was
yeah.
right before they got on their bullshit. Because then, who beat Black for the world title, John?
Oh god, yeah. He beat Andrade, but Ciampa beat Black.
Yep,
That's right, Ciampa beat Black, and his reign started fucking great, but he couldn't finish it properly, which then led, of course, to the Gargano Cole
Gargano
bullshit.
Cole. Yep, exactly.
Yeah. Because, like, I won't hate on Ciampa's first reign. I remember how into it I was, even though I've been kind of ruining it retroactively by being a boomer and shit.
Yep.
But, the funny thing about this matchup to me, and why I even feel like I'm kind of, like, thinking about docking at least half a point, I don't want to be overly petty about my hype, is that it really is embodied in this matchup, oddly enough, but not in the way you might think. I think it'll be decent enough in ring, but what it signals to me, now we were talking about, like, Stevenson and Kurt Angle and how one progresses and if one is worth what one is progressing towards. Braun and Carmelo, I can already buy main eventing a takeover. They're fucking awesome, right? The idea that Grayson Waller and Tony D'Angelo, who again I do like, but is green, like really fucking green. But again, I have to say, with all that disdain, Grayson Waller is main eventing a takeover
And LA
is honestly fucking
Knight.
insulting.
Oh.
And LA Knight too on the black and gold team. When it wasn't even that long ago that he was a heel, and people were asking in chat like, "Oh, did you see his promo?" I did. It was okay,
Oh.
but like it was pretty much the same stuff that he always does, but as a babyface. And I don't like what he does, whether heel or face. I guess LA Knight's taught me something about talkers. There are just some people I naturally like to hear talk, whether they're insulting me or they're praising me. Like Kevin Owens, I could hear that guy talk all day. Even if I prefer him as a
Brian
face, which I
Danielson
definitely
for
do.
me for sure.
Brian Dennison, Sami Zayn, fucking Cameron Grimes. If we want to go to an
Yes.
NXT example,
Absolutely.
Cameron,
Mustafa Ali.
yeah, absolutely. And LA Knight is just like, no, just because you've changed alignments, I'm supposed to be like, oh, you're good now because you're literally good now. No, fuck you. So
Yeah, I think
yeah,
people don't get that about us. We don't dislike LA Knight the character. We dislike Sean Ricker the performer.
yeah. He's do I feel like being a douche? Yeah, I feel like being
Yes.
a douche. He's just really not good at this at all.
That's that was you being a douche. That was so
Well, no, well,
gentle.
I was gonna say that it's a shame nobody told him that he just isn't talented enough. Like if somebody really just pulled him aside and told him the truth, because the truth does hurt. Not me though. I'm enjoying this right now.
You should go to fucking
We
Tony
could've-
Robbins route and go motivational speak somewhere.
Yeah, dude, that's the kind of energy that promo gave off. It's like, shouldn't you be grifting somewhere?
Yep.
Telling people that the power of positive thinking can change their life, but not in a cool New Day way, where there's a lot of hip gyrating, but like in a boring pastor way.
Tony Robbins,
where
I'm
it's like,
telling
God,
you.
yeah, exactly. So when I look at this background, which you did an amazing touch up for Twitwell purposes, by the way.
Thank you.
It's depressing, man, because it tells me like, okay, Braun and Carmelo are already main eventing takeovers, which is the right call for fucking sure. And honestly, as much as I like Braun, let's give credit where it's due, especially Carmelo, especially because I think being a talker is the most important thing. And Braun isn't so much a talker as he is a Steiner. There is a difference. It's a beautiful difference.
Yeah, that's true. That is true. Carmelo is a talker and a half.
Yes. And so Carmelo being in this spot, I'm telling you, if anybody's going to bring the North American Championship to a main event and a takeover, my money is on this dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, my money is 100%
It's
on
funny.
this dude.
We can reappropriate an old phrase that Carmelo used to have. Mellow is money.
Yeah. There you fucking go.
Yeah.
There you fucking go. Absolutely. And so that's right. Grayson Waller, Tony D'Angelo, LA Knight. It's like, oh, fuck, man. Like, is this your crop of main eventers in the future now in 2.0? Because this is a sequel where I'm literally doing the keyboard meme where it's like, fuck, go back. And I'm trying to press the back button.
Backspace.
Yeah, because I'm not here for it. I'm not ready for it. And I reject it. So I think overall hype, just because I think this is a harbinger of things to come, 3.5. Either step your game up or step out of the way.
So you haven't lost a half a point.
Well, yeah, I've lost a full point then because I gave it a 4.5.
I thought you gave it a 3.5 before.
No, I was at a
Oh, no,
4.5
yeah, you were at a
before.
4.5. Damn. Okay, shit.
Yeah, yeah, fuck this show. Honestly, with my
Jesus.
whole chest, fuck this show. Um, are you still at a 6.5?
I think I'm at a 6 flat.
Oh, it did drop for you. That is worth that, even if it was only a half a point.
Dude, low
It did
key,
drop for
you
you.
know what did the half a point drop for me?
What's that?
Us really doubling down on the fact that Grayson fucking Waller is main eventing this show.
Grayson Waller.
Oh,
Like, what? See, dude, honestly, again, I'm on my bullshit right now. I really am, because I noticed with a show that I hate, I just want to hurt it the way that I feel like it's hurting me. So it really says a lot about me personally that
dude,
I don't like.
what does it say about me that Grayson Waller makes me wish that it was still the mid 2000s so that he could get his fucking bags thrown out of the locker room and have to change in the hallway like the Miz did?
Jesus Christ, that says everything, doesn't it? Because when you even said, you know what made me drop the half point about it? I so desperately wanted to be like, actually, like, really thinking in depth about this show and its ramifications. But no, you really could. You really could just individuate it into this one fuck. And it's just like, oh, hot dogs and handshakes. God, and an LA Knight trying to be rah-rah guy. It's like, oh, aren't you a plucky fuck? Wanting to go out there and beat the odds.
Plucky, fucky.
Fuck you. Yeah, exactly. God, man, it's been a while since I've said it with my whole chest because I've been laughing at everybody else doing it. But this show could quite literally eat my whole ass. Like, my whole ass.
Ah, so that means that it can eat both cheeks and your asshole.
Dude, I was literally going to say a cheek in each cheek, but you know that's a separate matter. Yeah, 3.5. 3.5.
I'm gonna
My
stand
joking
by the
about
6.
this show. Yeah, my joking about this show is the best thing to happen to it. You're welcome, NXT Takeover War Games. You are so fucking welcome.
Jesus
All right.
Christ. Oh, man.
I'm not salty at all, and I resent any implication otherwise, but I want to thank everybody who came out in support of us here. Leave
All
a like
4
if you
of
haven't
you.
already. Yeah, all 4 of you. Leave a like if you haven't already, because I see 3 of you liked it, and there are 4, so whoever's holding it out, cough it the fuck up.
You
'Cause it helps.
withdrawn son of a bitch.
I know. You know what?
Withholding.
I'll do it myself. I'm empowered.
Thank you, Thanos.
I can touch my own face. I don't give a shit.
Thank you, Thanos.
Yeah, exactly. You're welcome.
I'll do it myself.
Subscribe, click the bell icon for notifications so you never again miss any of that wow goodness. I promise you I have more moods than this. Stardom's a thing, and I'm actually very joyous when that happens. They're already getting matches up for Shinjuku Face, and I'm like, oh my god. It was for us.
So, emphasize it, god damn it.
Keep it together, dude. It's almost over. Oh my god. Holy shit. Alright, well, he's clearly spiraling and experiencing ego death from
That was the sound of
me
keeping it together. Oh god.
Listen, guys, before you recede into yourselves.
Too late, already did it.
Click the bell icon and subscribe so you keep up with all that wow goodness. Again, I have more moods than this. Very clearly, I'm immensely talented. So's this guy. Be sure to check out everything we're involved in the description box. You know what the fuck it is. What did you like it? Who was the 7th line? Maybe it was somebody that was holding out. Good on you, whoever you are. So yeah.
Didn't
check
you
out everything.
You liked it? Are you just
No. I think I was the. I was the 4th. So we've had 3 likes since. Where the fuck is the 3 likes? Anyway, look, it doesn't matter. We appreciate it, obviously. Check out everything we're involved in the description box. You know you want to, and if you're like, well, what's in it? Click it and find out. That's what I'm going to say. Click it and find out. But we do have Twitters that you should definitely follow. Yeah, I'm really about that today. He's at Ashton_Twitwow. He does schedules and shit, but December just started, so simmer down. If you're like, what are you doing in December? The answer is a lot of stuff, okay? A lot of stuff. Stuff that I'm probably not even prepared for, and when Ashton reminds me, I'm going to get anxiety about it. So, yeah.
We're not
a lot
doing
of stuff.
A lot, no.
Well, yeah, a lot of stuff's happening, including Patreon
stuff.
request. Beg pardon?
There's some stuff, not a lot, no.
Well,
I could pull an
see,
Abel.
Guys.
No.
He's so fucking precious. All right, and then my pinned tweet is to collect Q&A questions, which I put up yesterday. I was a little late, but it doesn't matter any of you people. I got like 3 replies on that. I could have posted it the day of and gotten the same amount of traction. Like, I'm literally not sweating it. But if you guys are like, well, I tweet, that's convenient for me, well, then you're welcome. Go there, submit your questions. If you're not a Patreon donor, you only get 3 questions. If you donate $1, though, you get 2 more questions. So that's 5. And 5's greater than 3. So you know what you want to do. And yeah, then you could just post them in the pinned tweet down below, or you could just shell out $3 whole, get your additional Q&A questions, and get access to the Twitch Discord. There is a Q&A channel, and you could submit it there, you know, in case you don't want to engage with my face for some reason.
Yeah, but just to be clear, you don't pay the $3 to get access to the Discord exclusively so that you can ask questions in there. The Discord, that's like a tiny little perk that comes along with the Discord. The Discord itself is a whole ass community where we all support each other and have fun conversations and play games during shitty WWE TV shows.
It's a fucking experience, all right? Now, you want to be a part of it, so get on it. It's a great
all that for only $3 a month. What a fucking deal. God, we're generous. Jesus, John, what are we doing? We are so fucking bad at capitalism.
I know. God, I wish I was better at it. Then I'd be filthy rich. But while I'm spiraling about delusions of grandeur and ostentatious wealth, yes,
so
check out everything.
And why, huh?
I guess we'll see you guys. I don't know what's with me right now. We'll see you guys tomorrow for War Game reactions. Will I have this same energy? Probably not.
Probably not. Like, I'm not. Probably. Don't front. Come on.
I look. Will I turn up when I'm annoyed? Probably. Will it be in a way that's annoying to everyone else? Also, probably. Will I care?
That's the question.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe. It really depends on how considerate I'm feeling. But I always want you guys to have fun. So, and to be truthful, guys, and I'm being actually completely serious about this, there have been plenty of shitty shows where the chat actually does perk my mood up, and it is the best part of the show. So I'm going to count on you guys to bring it. Come, bring the noise. Even if you're excited about matches that I'm not, maybe I'll get secondhand excitement. You never fucking know. But yeah, we're live right into War Games tomorrow at 8. And yeah, we'll see what happens. But just Mason Waller.
I'm
gonna hand it over to
Jesus.
He exists.
I know, but you don't have to keep reminding everyone of it. Jesus.
But I think I'm just pissed because, like, he doesn't deserve. And I know I've said this before, but I need to be specific. He doesn't deserve to feel safe in his own illusions. Like he feels like I'm talented at this. I earned my spot.
Does he really though? I feel like he doesn't brag about being good at this. He just brags about being here. Like, they called him instead of him needing to work to get there. That's what he brags about, not that he's good.
I feel like the former assumption is baked into that assumption, though, because it's like, oh, they called me. They knew how good I would just be at this because I know what wrestling is actually about. Fuck you, man. Fuck you. God, I hate him so much. Is he my new most hated wrestler? Like, that's actively.
Can I also just say, imagine calling a team that actually fucking contains LA Knight, the hot dogs and handshakes crew. Like, that dude basically got here the same fucking way you did, dog.
That's why you're feuding, because you know there can only be one of you.
He literally was on the Rock's game show, and then he got a big contract with, I don't know, it was FCW actually. God, what a joke.
Look, Braun, Mello, just destroy everyone. Tony, maybe make those Italian hand gestures so we can all have something to meme about later, and we'll all get through this War Games just fine. If anybody is feeling overly ambitious, we are fucked, okay? We are fucked. Sorry this had to be your last NXT match, Johnny. That really sucks for you. But, yeah, I guess that's it. You can take us home.
Okay, well, hey, everyone. We hope that you enjoyed our preview and predictions. And John already asked you to do all the things, so do all the things. And, follow us on Twitter and Twitch, and subscribe on Twitch, and buy our merch on Spring and donate to our Patreon like John already mentioned. And, if you want to share our absolute and utter joy with this product with all of your other wrestling fan friends, that would be great too. Let them know just how wonderfully enthusiastic we are here. But unironically, about actual good products like Stardom. And we'll see you all tomorrow night for this hell show. I mean, this show. We'll see you tomorrow night for this show. We hope that it's good, or at least better than we think it's going to be. I think I'm down to a 5.5 now. Thanks, John. We'll see you all tomorrow.
Yeah.
We'll
Yeah.
we'll see you all tomorrow. But until then, you gotta remember to stay tuned.